Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a long trade on the euro. Let me get my stop in place here, drop that down there. We're long 4 contracts here at 11.44, looking to take our first target off at 11.54. A nice little 10-tick move there. After that, we're looking for a quick little follow-up on our secondary target here at 58, and then a final target all the way back up at 11.78 for a big push higher off of this correction. So right now, we have the euro rotating in sort of a cyclical range type day. If you zoom out a little bit, you can plainly see we do have slight bearishness in the market, but there's also a semblance of a range, right? We have all these tiny little ranges inside here. There's lots of those guys, but this also appears to be somewhat of just a massive range that the sellers are trying to get out of. And they look like they're not doing so well, right? We're seeing the sellers fail on the low side and try to pop back up in, and we're just looking to fade that low, right? On a range day, we're looking for this to maybe even cycle all the way back up to the high of day. We're pretty far away from that, though, so being a little bit more conservative, just kind of targeting halfway inside the range there, around 78. You can see that there was a lot of support that came in that area. It's expected to see resistance come into that area if we can get back up in there. So 1178 is going to be that final target. Now, our stop itself, 1131 on the lows, and we're just looking to play this right back up to the highs. Now, there are a lot of different ways that we can play this. We can leave our stop on the low, let the targets get filled, and just let it keep going, because if these lows are broken, we were wrong in our analysis, and we take the stop. If we were right, we should never come back down to these lows. That's the more, I would call that aggressive, even though it's somewhat conservative, because you're leaving your stop in a losing position, right? Now, the other opportunity, or the other option rather, is once you get that target at 54 filled, move your stop to break even, right? Lock your stop up to break even, or lock it close to break even, maybe even under that candle or under here. You get the idea. Tighten it up a little bit, lock in that profit so you don't give everything back. That's the main concern that you have to be careful of when you're working with this type of scenario, is you don't want to give everything back. Our goal is to get that first target. After that, if it wants to keep going, awesome. Then we'll take some off at 58 and 78. But the primary objective is getting up to 54. Now, that first target we already talked about, pretty easy, 44 to 54. It's 10 ticks. Nice and easy there. The second target off at 58, it's going to be 14 ticks. And then the final portion all the way back up, if we can get that full rotation up to 78, it's going to be 34 more ticks. So if you get all of them filled, we're looking at 68 ticks total. 2 off at 20, 1 off at 14, and then 34. And that'll put in a nice little chunk of profit. The euro ticks at $12.50 a tick, so that's actually $850 in profit if we can get them all filled. So just looking for this to continue back up to the upside, looking for that first target at 54, second one at 58, final at 78. You can see that we're pretty slow, right? We're definitely taking our time down here. We had a nice, beautiful collapse off the highs there, and then they just kind of ground their way lower, and now we're starting to see that break back up. So looking for that break up. Might take 5 minutes, it might take 50, right? It just all depends on what the market feels like doing. It's only 9:45 or going on 9:45 here in a little bit, so plenty of time for the trade to work out. We'll just kind of sit on hands and let the thing work. All right, we're testing our target here. Haven't gotten it filled yet, but we're testing it. Everything looking really solid. Now, one big thing, it did take a little bit of time here, but we had a big whip back, right? This big doji came back on us, challenged the lows one more time, and then they're letting go and they're pushing back up to the highs. So testing 54, just need to see it get filled. But because of this finalized failure, if you will, here, that happened at 10:05, we can lock the stop in a little bit tighter underneath that. Because we've tested our target, we don't want to give a chance of giving anything back, but at the same time, we still need to give it breathing room because we haven't filled that target yet. So 1154, still looking to get it filled. We tested it a couple times here, just need to actually get the fill going, but everything looking great. We had that big failure at the lows that adds a lot of emphasis on the upside of that big failure doji right back up in to bullishness. That's a really good sign that we're looking for still that further reversal back up. So just want to do a quick update here. We'll probably get that target filled in a little bit, 1154. Then we're just looking for 1158 next. And then if we can really get this thing going, again, all the way back up to 1178. It's a decent way away, but at the same time, that's the big area that a lot of support and resistance came in back here. It's expected to see price want to explore back up to that area and see what the reaction is. If the reaction is aggressive bearishness off of that level, you could see this thing fall right back down to a new low and continue the overall downtrend. We are still technically in a downtrend. So that's kind of the concern right now. There we got our target filled. So again, you can do a couple different things. Because we got our target filled, you can leave your stop down here, or you can go to break even. I'm more in the camp of locking in what I can, so 45 is going to be my stop. You aggressive guys, you can leave your stop right back down here at 37, 36 or so, knowing that we shouldn't break that low again. But I'm perfectly content. Stop at 45, first target filled at 10, got 20 off so far, looking for the next one at 14, and then the final one at 34. All right, seeing the buyers come in, we're one tick away from that second target. There we go, we got that filled. Nice little fill right there at 54, popped right through it. Gotta love those. Now we're just waiting for that final target all the way back up to 78. You can be, let me get rid of these. It drives me nuts there. There we go. So we can be looking up to 1178 for that next and final portion. And in terms of the stop, because we have that second target filled, you can get a little bit more aggressive on it and lock it up as we go in the form of, a trailing stop, something along those lines. The other option is to simply leave it right at break even and see if it wants to get either your target or your stop. Again, I like locking in where possible. Right now, we haven't even seen any profit taking come in, right? So because of the lack of profit taking that's coming in here, if we moved our stop up, it could just get whipped out and then shot right back up into where our target should have been, except we got stopped out. We don't want something like that to happen. So we'll wait for a little bit more information for right now. So right now, just kind of sitting on hands, waiting for a little more info and see if we can get that 1178 next up. Big push from the buyers coming in here. They broke through those highs. They got a little bit stuck here at 1172, and now they're kind of breaking through. That could just be a little bit of a stop run for sellers trying to come in. Either way, though, I don't want to see this low at 1160 broken, so stops at 1158. That way, it's either we get filled at 78 or 58, one or the other, and it's definitely not bad regardless. 14 ticks on one end or the full 34 on the other. We're coming close, right? We're come one tick away now, so because of that one tick, we can get in even tighter and say either 64 or 78. And you can see you can get much more aggressive as it gets closer and closer. And just to prevent a situation where it comes one tick from your target and then shoots all the way back down, you give everything back. We don't want that to happen. So we're locked in at 1164. Now it's either our target or 64 at this point. We've come one tick away. Now we just need to see that little bit of extra follow through here. Still looking really nice so far. There could even be a little bit of a channel working its way higher, but that channel definitely got a little overzealous on the highs here with this big old smash through the highs. So we're seeing continued major bullishness coming in here, which is giving us the clues to stick with it, right? Our stop is at 1164. We're looking for 78. Now we just need to get that final push, that last little oomph from the buyers to get that final portion filled at 78, and we can lock and load into the trade. Again, if we can get that one filled, that'll lock in 68 total ticks for us. And on the euro, it's 1250 a tick, so that's $850 in the bank if we can get this one filled. Looks like they're trying again. Here we go. And beautiful. Got that target filled. Wonderful. Close the stop out there. We got it filled all the way back up 1178. Even went through it a little bit. You could have even gotten filled all the way up to 1180 so far. But again, this is this block area of resistance. This is the location that you have to be careful of. We're right out at 1178. If they can close past this, they may have the green light to shoot all the way back up to the high of day. But if they can't, you might see them falter and go right back down to a new low. But we're done with the trade. Rather be conservative on this one. 34 ticks on that final portion. Overall, 68 ticks, $850 in the bank. If you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot me an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.